The new God of War is coming to both PS4 and PS5, but is it that big a deal? Let's talk about it.
The time draws near.
Get ready.
Hello there everybody and welcome to Play to Win. My name is Tyler and today we're going to be talking about the PlayStation news that dropped earlier this week. Before we talk about that, I just want to remind you to please remember to like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and make sure you turn on notifications so that you are notified whenever new videos go live, just like this one, so you can be the first one to watch it as soon as it goes up. With all that being said, let's talk about this week's PlayStation news. So, we got confirmation this week through a PlayStation blog post in which head of PlayStation Studios Herman Hulst was talking about the future of PlayStation and the upcoming games that they have in the works. They talked about how Ben Studio, the developers behind Days Gone, are making a brand new IP. He formally introduced Team Asobi, the developers behind Astrobot Rescue Mission and Astro's Playroom. But then he also dropped a few tidbits that have also stirred a bit of controversy amongst PlayStation fans and the gaming community. That being that Gran Turismo 7 is going to be coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and more importantly and more noteworthy is that God of War, the new God of War game, which many are calling God of War Ragnarok, that is also going to be coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 when it releases next year because it has now been delayed to 2022. Now, when people read this news, there were a lot of people upset and not happy with this at all. You had many people feeling betrayed by PlayStation, feeling like they were being lied to by Sony, and it's understandable why some of them felt that way. Many people believed that these games were going to be PlayStation 5 exclusives. They didn't think that they were going to be coming to PS4 and PS5. Overall, though, I don't think that this is that big a deal. I don't think it's that bad. Now bear with me, let me explain what I mean by this. There are two sides to the coin of this argument. There's a side of the PS5 owners who want to have a PS5 and want to have the best experience possible and want to have some exclusive games. And then there is the Sony side of things, where they're thinking about the business and the PS4 players. We're going to talk about both sides of this right now. Let's start with the PS5 players. The PS5 players, like I said, they want to have exclusive games. They want to have games that are exclusive to their console, that are made specifically for their hardware, that take full advantage of the PS5's, super fast SSD, more powerful internals, all that jazz. They want hard games that, make their console feel special and unique. It's something brand new, and you offer them new experiences that they can only get there. So when you had Gran Turismo 7 and God of War Ragnarok, for the sake of this conversation, God of War Ragnarok, when you had them get announced last year, and there was the assumption that, okay, they're going to be PS5 exclusive. And although God of War was never confirmed to be PS5 exclusive, many people thought it would be. Gran Turismo 7 was kind of confirmed to be exclusive for PS5, but that's now cross-gen game. So you had, going back to last year, people thinking these games are going to be exclusive, and now you have the shoe dropping, the hammer falling down, saying no, they're going to be on both platforms, which then means that the games are now, and this is the bigger problem, this is the bigger issue that many people have with this, the games are now being held back by older hardware. If a game is being put onto PS4 as well as PS5, the game has to be made in a way and designed in a way in which it can run on PS4. If it's, if you're having a game like, let's say Ratchet & Clank, for example. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart cannot work on a PS4. It just can't at all, which is why it is a PS5 exclusive. If that game was to work on a PS4, it would have to be entirely redesigned from the ground up. The whole dimension hopping aspect wouldn't be able to be there because the PS4's hard drive just can't do it and can't do it at all. It's only possible because of the SSD. Because these games now, God of War specifically in this case, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about that one more specifically from here on in. Gran Turismo 7 is a racing game. It's more, I guess you could say, modular. But God of War, for the sake of this conversation now, God of War, that is a game where you want it to be the best. You want it to be a shining example of what the PS5 can do. And since it's now a cross-gen game, that means that we're not going to be getting, potentially no tight corridors, potentially, much larger environments, much more vast areas to explore and all like that. Different things that you would have expected from a PS5 exclusive God of War. We're not going to be getting that now since it's cross-gen. And I understand. I understand people's disappointment with it. I don't think that it's something that should be, angry that you're like gritting the pitchforks and all like that. But I understand people's disappointment with it and all. So that's one side of the argument. That's one side of the coin here. The other side of the coin is the Sony side, the business side of things. And Sony cannot just throw away the more than 110 million PS4 owners that are out there right now, just because the PS5 is out now. They can't drop it that quickly. Now, they could easily make these games PS5 exclusives. They easily could have done that. And, the PS5 audience would be like, yeah, this is awesome. And then, they'd be having more people going out there to buy PS5s and stuff. But for the people that aren't able to buy PS5s, if they just, kind of left the PS4 generation out to dry and kind of stopped giving them any type of content games whatsoever from first party in general, then it would just be like just cutting off support entirely and leaving it to die in a sense. And that's not something you want to do with a platform where you have 110 million players. You just don't want to do that. That's where all your money is. That's where most of your revenue is going to be coming from right now. So it makes sense that they would want to drop one of their biggest games ever on the platform, as well as the next entry in their very popular, most iconic racing series on the platform as well. It makes business sense from that perspective. Also, from the perspective of the fact that PS5s are very hard to come by and very hard to make nowadays due to the pandemic. The pandemic's going on, and because it's so difficult for them to get PS5s out there for people, and it's so difficult for people to get their hands on them once they're out there, that it just makes sense as well that, the pandemic probably has thrown things out of whack, started wrenching the plans. Let's put these games on PS4 as well. That way we can also try and recoup some of the costs as well from the development of these games and get them to the widest audience possible that we could possibly get it to, and appease our PS4 players at the same time. So it makes business sense, and I understand that perspective as well. So that's why at the end of the day, I don't think that these games being on PS4 and PS5 is that big a deal. I don't think it's really a bad decision, something for us to get angry about at all. Because at the end of the day, these games are still going to be great games. They're still going to be amazing experiences for sure. And I want them to be played by as many people as possible. I myself am a PS5 owner. And yes, I am disappointed that God of War specifically is not a PS5 exclusive game. I was really hoping it would be that way. It would be the best it possibly could be. It would be this PS5 showcase. The game that says, hey, this is why you need to have a PS5. That's not to say that Ratchet & Clank isn't going to be a game that says you need to have a PS5. It's not to say that Returnal's not a game that says that for you as well. Or even the PS5 version of Miles Morales. I'm sure the PS5 version of Horizon will be games where they're like, man, this is why you need to have a PS5. Although the PS4 version is good, the PS5 version is better, almost cross-gen. I did want, the full fat PS5 true exclusive for those games, for God of War specifically. But I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's really that a bad thing, because yes, even though I am disappointed, I understand the decision. It's a perfectly sound decision. It's a rational decision. It makes all the sense in the world. And I am so positive that these games are still going to be great games, amazing games, that even though they're being developed for PS4 and PS5, all PS5 owners will, by virtue of having a PS5, have the best experience with the game due to better performance on the PS5 because of its better hardware, better graphical possibilities since it's on better hardware. There's the DualSense and all its interesting functions and capabilities. I'm sure that Horizon, you'll have the adaptive triggers doing some stuff with the bow and arrow that is not possible on PS4. and it's going to offer a completely different experience. The haptic feedback in the controller as well will offer a different experience than just the regular vibrations that you get in the DualShock 4. Just playing these games on PS5, while not the true exclusive for PS5, is still going to be the best way to play these games, and they're still going to be amazing and fantastic games. And I have complete and utter faith in the development teams over at Sony Santa Monica, at Guerrilla Games, at Polyphony Digital, at any of the other developers that are making cross-generation games all across PlayStation studios. I have faith that all these games are still going to be great. They're going to be amazing, no matter what platform they're on. At a certain point, there is going to be a cutoff for a last gen. I'm certain of it. I'm sure that, once we get into next year, we'll probably start hearing less about cross-gen games. We might not hear about any more cross-gen games after 2022. From 2023 on, there might not be any more cross-gen games, I would imagine. But for the foreseeable future, for now, we have some in the works. And I'm sure that, even this year, we'll get announcements of games that are not cross-gen, that are PS5 exclusive only from some of Sony's first-party studios. I don't think that every single one of the games is going to be cross-gen from here on in. So, I don't think we need to get the pitchforks and torches. It's not that big a deal. It's not a bad decision. It's a perfectly rational, fine decision. I understand both sides. I understand the disappointment, but it's all okay. We're going to be fine. The games will be fine. They will still be great. And we will still get true PS5 exclusives sometime down the road. With all that being said, though, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on this whole situation down below in the comment section. Leave a like on this video. Remember to turn on notifications and subscribe to the channel so you can watch all those other videos and know when they all go live, so you can watch it as soon as it goes up. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Tyler. Have a good one. Talk to you all later.